What is up, everybody? Welcome back to All the Things. Thanks so much for tuning in. Let's do a beer. Let's do a proper beer review. Shout out to my buddy Scott. I think I pitched him a can of Ghost in the Lab, and he threw this can my way. Another can that I did not drink yet, or review, or know what I did with. Now that I think about it, I'm not quite sure. So look, y'all, as far as I know, this is the first time I've dealt with this brewery, period. And in this weird addition to the label, I looked it up. So let's run through this real quick. This is the 8 State Brewing Company, Wasted Time. Double dry hopped, Citra Mosaic, double IPA, plus Phantasm. So because it said plus Phantasm, I was like, what's that? You know, I didn't know. Like, it doesn't list it in the ingredients in the hop. So I looked it up, and apparently it is some sort of powder derived from Sauvignon Blanc grapes, maybe? It's kind of my understanding. Maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, or I'm right, somebody comment below, let me know what I'm dealing with here. But I think it's a powder made from white grapes. And it looks like it's something out of New Zealand, maybe, and it's been added to various beers at the Whirlpool stage, which should impart like big aromas, I believe, and a little bit of taste, but big time on the aroma notes. Anyway, this can art is like, first off, skinny can, not a fan, but whatever. I feel like I got a Red Bull in my hand, which I don't drink very often, if ever, for real. Anyway, that's like the whole baseball tournament issue, but you got this guy wandering through a desert with a clock, an octopus, and the moon. I mean, it's so dope. I don't know if I can get a good spin on this, but let's try. We'll do a slow-mo rotation. Can artwork is just fire. I have no idea about this beer. On my Untapped list, only one friend has had it. Garrett. Irby. I think he's had it. We're going to go into the Joe's Arcade glass. Shout out to Joe over at Joe's Arcade. It's been a while since I've used this glass. I saw it in the hutch that I keep my stuff in. You know what? I cracked that. I didn't swirl it at all or roll it, but whatever. Into the glass we go. Pouring out that hazy juice. Haze for days. A little golden orange thing to this thing. We're just gonna pour it all in there. Whatever. Small can these days. Gonna have 2 fingers of an off-white head. Big, thick, frothy head. Actually, let's not make a mess, y'all. I mean, the pungent. So the wind, I get this very, very slight breeze, right? And like the aromas coming off this beer are fantastic. Like I can smell grapefruit and melon and guava, like from here, no joke. Like it is just that. It's just flowing off the top of this beer. But let's get a nose on it. Nice, bright grapefruit, guava, tangerine. Just a very pungent, bright nose. It smells absolutely fantastic. Only one can of this, which is sad because if the way this thing tastes is the smell, like it is really, really beautiful. Even some big, like fleshy orange juice as well. Like big, pulpy, fresh squeezed orange juice kind of thing going on. Smells so good. All right, let's go ahead and taste this thing. Got a bird making a noise somewhere. Y'all hear that? Constant. I think that's a tufted titmouse. I like my birds, y'all. Been a cold weekend here. Nice medium mouthfeel. Holy cow, this thing's good. Nice. Finish is guava and grapefruit. The bubbles on this thing are weird. Like the front of your tongue, you know, when you get something really carbonated, or like really tiny bubbles, prickly on the front of my tongue. Very interesting. The front of this thing is oranges, tangerines, little bit of melon, and it washes into this grapefruity, earthy character with guava. This weird, it totally has that New Zealand bite to the back end of this thing too. So that thing has got to be there. That Phantasm hot, like powder or whatever, imparts this weird, earthy kind of like earthy, grassy brightness on the back end. Like, I don't know how to. What's the best way to put that? Almost like a lemongrass, citrusy earthiness on the back end is kind of what I'm picking up on. That's kind of the leftover bitterness on the palate, is that flavor. Well, sometimes it could be dank, sometimes it could be fleshy grapefruit or grapefruit oil. Like, it may have a hint of grapefruit oil, but the majority of it is this weird lemongrass, earthy bitterness on the back end. For 8.1%, I get no alcohol at all. This is very good. I think one of the things I like about the New Zealand powder or whatever's in there is like it kind of adds this extra element to two hops that you're really familiar with Citra and Mosaic. There's just this, it kind of brings it all together on the back end of this beer to where it's just slightly different, if that makes sense. Where almost IPAs kind of finish a certain way, except for these juicy ones, I guess, that sometimes don't have any bitterness at all. The earthiness and the grassy character on the back of this thing kind of like tie it together to be a nice double IPA. It leaves you like a little bit dry, like wanting to go back for more and more too. I think it's a really, really good beer. I don't rate them, but if you can get this 8 State, I guess their other stuff is good too. This one is very good, and their can art label is fire, despite the fact that they're using itty-bitty skinny cans. Thanks so much for checking it out, y'all. If you've had this beer or one like it from the 8 State, or if you're familiar with this Phantasm powder, let me know about it. Until next time, y'all. Peace.